Okay, very good. Well, welcome. Hello, today is our first day of our Zen yoga practice. A little bit of housekeeping, and before we get started, a couple things that you will need if you have them today. Great. We're probably not really use much today, but for the future, you'll want to get a couple blocks. So if you don't have them, you can pick them up, at any department store, Walmart, Target, anything like that. And a strap. Sometimes these blocks will come with a strap as well, yoga strap, or a long belt or something that's not stretchy. And we'll be using them. Probably not today. We're not going to use it today, but we will start using them later on. You'll want a mat, and I've got a blanket, one of the yoga blankets that you probably are familiar with in various classes that you may have taken. And just a little quick explanation about what Zen yoga is. Zen yoga is a fusion of Taoist practices and our yoga practices, traditional yoga practice. So it's kind of a fusion of the two. But in our Zen yoga class, as is our traditional yoga, is focused on pairing movement with breath. However, in our Taoist practices, we emphasize a little bit more on the breath. In fact, we do a lot of breathing or pranayama in yoga, and really noticing how the breath comes in and out of the body. And that is of particular importance to the Taoist practices, since it's really at the foundation of the very early Taoist practices, which were more leaning towards meditation, and that's still the stillness. Whereas in yoga already had, it begun very early on with understanding you needed that movement in the practice. You needed to move the body and to, make sure that the body is strong and healthy in order to be able to sit for a long period of time. So that's not our goal. Our goal is not to sit for a long period of time. Our goal is to find ease through our daily activities, through the breath. And so that's one of the things that we focus a little bit more on. The other thing is that it's a seasonal approach. So we're going to use the 5-element theory of and how we move through our yoga practice. So right now, the 5 elements move with the seasons. So this is the spring, and the wood element governs the spring. So wood is about anything that grows, anything that's alive, anything that's breathing air. So we are essentially part of the spring or the wood element. Of course, trees, plants, animals, anything that has that ability to grow. So we're going to this week focus on a wood practice, our spring practices, which is governing our ligaments and tendons and connective tissue, and it's all about stretching and wakening the body. Then we'll go into our fire or early summer practices, which is about working on the smaller muscle groups, the cardiovascular system. And then we work on the larger muscle groups later in the summer. We're just going to pretend that we're going through the year in these next 5 or 6 weeks. Okay. So then we go into the metal, and then we go into the water, and we complete this journey through the 5 elements. And that's what these series of videos are. And so they're going to be 30-minute practices, and they'll be recorded for you, and we will start our 30 minutes now. Okay. All right. So Let's begin. So just take a natural breath. Your hands can be just nicely relaxed on your thighs. And for now, just tune into your breath. Don't make it do anything it doesn't want to do. Just watch it and notice how it moves in and out of your body. Notice if it gets stuck someplace. Notice how deep into the chest it gets. Notice as we just come more into the body and quiet the mind, the breath gets a little easier to move. So now just please bring your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind the front teeth at the alveolar ridge. Just let it rest there naturally. And notice when you inhale with the tongue in that position, how it moves through your system a little smoother. So as we move through our next breath in, you're going to release the arms and bring them up with the breath. So inhale as the arms float up. Gather, exhale as we bring the arms down. Inhale, call this bringing down the heavens. Part of our Taoist practices. And gather out. So let's just bring the arms out to the knees, and then we're going to flip the palms upward. Just extend by pushing your shoulders down and reach and see if you can hook the back of your wrist onto the knees. So you do feel that stretch through the arms, and then let the elbows relax to the body. And we're going to initiate a 4-part breath. So the first part of the breath is an inhale. The second part is a pause. The third part is the exhale. And the fourth part is the pause. So we'll do a couple of those. On this, we're going to use a counting method. So when you inhale, see if you can count to 4, 3, 2, 1, and then pause for a moment. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Maybe the pause is for 2 seconds, maybe it's for just a second. Let's continue with that. Now we're going to lengthen the exhale. So as you inhale for 4, pause for 1 or 2 counts, and then exhale. See if you can exhale for at least 5 seconds or 6, and then pause. In. Making that breath a little bit longer with each exhale. Maybe up to 8 seconds. Not important to get to 8. You just want to find the ease and the release in this. Feel your head floating up over your shoulders. Your ears are in line with the shoulders. The shoulders float up over the ribs. The ribs float over the pelvis. Pelvis floats over the thighs. And notice with each inhale, the breath moving through the nostrils, down through the windpipe, filling the lower, middle, and upper abdomen. And the exhale as it exits out the nose and out the windpipe, emptying the upper abdomen or lungs, the middle, then the lower. Draw the navel slightly back and lift the perineum. And then we inhale into the lower belly, the middle diaphragm, from the upper lungs. Pause, and then exhale out of the upper lungs, the middle, and the lower. Pause. So when we inhale, we notice that expansion. With the exhale, there's a release. With the inhale, there's a filling. It's also a relaxation. I know what. And with the exhale, there's a release, but also a little bit of tension. The tension is through the belly button and the pelvic floor lifting. And in, we don't want to feel tension anywhere else. So as you're exhaling, you're releasing out of your lungs, the diaphragm, the navel draws back slightly towards the spine, and the perineum lifts up to meet that point. We'll do a couple more times. Good. And with your next breath, just let your eyes flutter open, turn your palms down. Let's just warm up the hands a little bit. And we can bring the hands up to the head and just maybe take your fingertips and just massage from the center of your third eye, your center of your forehead, out towards your temples. And then maybe out towards the back of the ears, top of the head, around the back of the head. And just introducing the concept of, how does this all relate to the body, the five elements. So our wood element relates to the liver and gallbladder. And the gallbladder meridian runs through the head. It's got a lot of points that run through the head, 19 in fact. And so as we just let the hands rest behind your head, your thumb goes to the base of the skull and out about an inch away from the center of the skull. You feel a little indentation before you hit that big muscle, the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which goes out behind the ear. So just between, there's a little indentation. You could just pulse that a little bit. It feels good. Maybe it's a little painful, but it's releasing some tension. That's what we're going to do. Just release a little tension there. And then lacing the fingers behind your head, just kind of lifting at the base of the skull. Give your neck a little bit of a lift, no yanking on it, just a nice lift. And feel that head kind of pushing back into your hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in one more time. And breathe out. And then inhale, lift the hands, release them to the side. And I just move around the shoulders a little bit. Okay, so, begin our yoga practice seated on the mat. And if this becomes too much for your legs or you're feeling a little numbness in your feet, you can always extend your legs out. You can have one leg out, one leg in. You come up to the knees on this. So let's release the legs just because we've been there for a little while. Shake out the legs. You can bring them wherever it feels good, together, out to the side. Let's bring them together for now. If you're on your blanket, you might want to move it aside if that feels better to you, or feel like you can leave it there as well. It's really up to you. And actually, it depends really upon how tight your hamstrings are. So if your hamstrings and the back of your knees are tight, you might want to put that back there. But if this just feels pretty good, then leave it. So the idea is that we want to kind of press through the back of the legs, especially it's a great stretch to do if you have tight hamstrings. And if you have weak hamstrings or like knees that are double jointed, they kind of flop back on you because there's no risk to you overextending the knees. So you just press down onto the backs of your knees, pull your toes to your shins. And then we're going to point the toes away. So you feel that stretch in the top of your feet, and then pull your toes back and push your toes away. Pull your toes back and push them away. And back and away. Good. Circle at the feet a little bit, a couple of times going in one direction, and then rotate them a few times in the other direction. Good. And then we're going to inhale the arms up. And exhale, reach over your legs. Don't worry about how far you get for that first, especially for the first one. And then we're going to slide back up on the inhale. Hands go back. Continue to inhale with the arms going up. Or take that little exhale and then inhale again. And exhale, reach. Inhale, slide it back. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, reach. Inhale, slide back. Inhale up. Reach to those fingertips. Exhale, reach. Inhale, back up. Nice and tall, stay here. Inhale the right arm up. Now reaching through those fingertips. Pull the thumb back and the pinky up. Feel the energy going all the way from your side body into the fingertips. Take a couple of breaths here, feeling you're active in the fingers. Now it's active, not tense and draining. So we want to feel the movement going through that arm. And just take your fingertips of your left hand out to the side a few inches. And then on the next inhale, we'll reach up again, pull the thumb back, feel that nice stretch up that right side body. And then exhale as you reach over towards the left. Now let that left elbow bend back a little bit and really feel that extension. You're dropping your hip to the floor to stabilize and then extending through the fingertips as they reach over the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel that breath open that side body to the front. Then the exhale closes the front and stretches the back side body. Inhale one more time. Exhale one more time on the side. Then the inhale, bring the arm back up through. Exhale, bring the palm down to your side. Just notice the difference between your right side and left side. And bring the right hand back to the side. And inhale the left arm up. Reach through those fingertips, drop the thumb back and the pinky up. Exhale, keep the shoulder relaxed. We're not reaching yet, just hold this reach. So imagine or noticing your left hip pressing into the floor as your right fingertips reach to the sky. Let that shoulder release back and down. Inhale. Exhale, I'm going to walk my right fingertips out. On the next inhale, lift again, reaching through that side body. Then exhale as we lean over towards the right side, bending that right elbow slightly behind you. Anchor the left hip, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, feel that openness in the front side body. Breathe out, feeling the opening in the back side body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. On the next inhale, bring it back up. Exhale to release the arm. Good, so we go from our seated practice to our standing practice, but before that, let's go onto all fours. And here you may want, I'll come sideways to you so that you can see me better. You may want something underneath your knees. We're not going to be here for too long, so don't get too comfortable. The tops of your feet are down. Your hands are right under your shoulders, knees under your hips. As we inhale, just tilt the tailbone up. Lift the heart center up. So not so much the head, but lead with the heart center. Your head will follow. Then exhale, tuck your tail under. Round through your lower back, middle back, upper back. Head drops. Then inhale, lead with your tailbone. Lower back tilts, shoulders go back, the heart rises. Exhale, tucking the tail, rounding the back, navel draws up through the spine, the head releases towards the floor, or towards your chin, towards your chest, sorry. Inhale as we come back. Tilting the tailbone, pulling the heart center forward, and exhale as we round the back. Inhale to arch, and exhale to round. So inhale as we come into a flat back. Take your right leg out to the side. I'm going to face you again, just so you have a better view. You're going to take your right leg to the right side. So the foot is going to now turn out towards that right wall. Bend your knee a little bit. So you got not quite a straight leg, not quite a bent leg, but something that's comfortable. Your foot's on the floor. Inhale again into a tilt, then exhale, round through the back. So we got a little bit deeper stretch in that inner thigh. Inhale as we bend the knee a little bit. Tilt. If this does not feel comfortable, you can go back to just where we were on all fours. Inhale, but it should feel pretty good. Should feel like a nice opening through the inner thigh. Then inhale back to a flat or neutral back, and then bring that leg back underneath you. And so your knees go back to hip width apart, and you can just rock them side to side. On the next inhale, you're going to bring your left leg out. And then maybe if you're like me, my left hip kind of got locked up a little bit. Anyway, that's okay. Turn your toes out. You can just move it along a little bit, bending that knee a little bit. And same thing. So we're going to tilt back with the inhale. Lift the heart, exhale as you round. Inhale to tilt. This leg might be totally different feeling than the other side. In, and it probably does. I know I feel a little bit different. Exhale as you round. On this next inhale, let's bring that back to a neutral spine and bring the knee back. Now, I'm assuming that you've had some yoga practice. You guys all look really good. And I'm going to curl the toes under for this, making our way into downward facing dog. So on your inhale, let's pull the hips back towards your heels. Let your knees draw up off of the mat, and there's drawing your heels back to the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. On the next inhale, start to walk your feet, either walk your feet towards your hands or walk your hands towards your feet, or a combination of the two, and meet me in forward fold. So your knees are soft, your arms are just kind of hanging out of your shoulders. Bring your hands to your opposite elbows and release your head. On the inhale, we're going to release the arms and push through your legs as you rise up, pulling your navel into your spine. Continue to inhale as you rise over, arms overhead, and then exhale as you look over to your left. Okay, so we're going to do these 3 pull downs standing up. So as you're going to be opposite of me, you're going to inhale to your right. Then as you come up with the arms, you exhale to your left, just clearing down the left side. So again, this is called pulling up the heavens. So we pull up the earth, turn the palms up, gather the sky, and we draw a little bit of heaven down and settle. So in, last one, gather, and out. Very nice. Shake that out. Shake out the hands, elbows, and shoulders. So here we're going to bring in our little Taoist practices. This is part of our Qigong practices. It's called shaking the 9 gates. So it looks really good. Yeah, just shaking everything out. It's not too hard. Bring your shoulders up to the ears and let them go. Any tension in the shoulders get released, and then throw it out. Nice. Feel a little tingling in those fingertips. Take a breath in and exhale. Good. Now we're going to just bounce a little bit through the knees, ankles, and hips. So it's a little bit of bouncing. I'll show you from the side view. So kind of as if you were bouncing on a rebounder, and we're focused more on letting go. So it's not way up here, it's more drop. So when you drop the heels, it's not a big bounce. You don't want to feel a headache, but you just want to feel like they're bouncing on something like reboundy, like a little cushion or something. Just let everything be shaken, not stirred. I won't use that again, although every time I say it, I think that, although I don't like martinis, so. And as we're shaking it, you might notice that your breath starts to become alive. And you feel that little extra pressure from the bouncing on your diaphragm. And that pushes that air out, making that sound. Kind of like the breath that we do in yoga, yeah, can't think of it now. Kapalabhati breath in yoga. But it's not so much from the belly pulling in, it's from that impact on the heels. Great way to clear out the lungs, and we'll just come back to center and throw it out. So just beginning to feel that energy moving in through the body. Feeling your heart beating a little faster. Taking big, long breaths to settle it. And then for the next few minutes, just introduce some of our appliques that comes from our Qigong practice. So we're going to interlace the fingers, bring the hands up to the heart, flip the palms up over the head. We're going to reach, lift to the toes if you'd like, or leave the feet on the floor. And then we're going to reach over to the right side. And then inhale back through, lift, lower, reach over to the left side. Inhale back through the center, lift and lower, breathe, reach over to the right again. Inhale back through the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale over to the center. And lower, release your hands. Very nice. We're going to take the feet together and bring your right hand, I'll mirror you this time, left hand behind the head or over the head. If there's shoulder issues, you can always leave your hands, leave one hand at the hip, one hand on the top of the head, but you guys look good. So anyway, inhale, pulling the shoulders back. Exhale, we're just going to turn the neck as you pull your elbow back. Inhale, change the arms. Take your right hand on the head and you're going to pull the right elbow back as you look to your left. Good. Inhale, change the arms. Exhale, just turn your head as your elbow goes back, feeling that stretch right along the side of your head, inside of the arm. Inhale, change this. Exhale as your right elbow goes back, sorry, look to your left. Feeling that stretch up the side of your neck, side of your chest. Inhale, change sides. And exhale, elbow goes back and you turn your head. Try to keep the head level, shoulders level. Inhale, last one, change the arms. And exhale, as you pull the right elbow back, you're looking to your left. Feel that stretch through the right side of the chest, right side of the neck. Then inhale back through the center. And take your left hand on top of your right. We're going to join the wrists. Flip the wrists and exhale as you stretch. So we're stretching through the fingers, the little muscles through the hands, pulling the fingers back. So you breathe here a couple of times. Your thumb is down. Your fingers are up, palms are pushing as if they were touching both the ceiling and the floor. Then inhale, flip, bring the hands back, flip them, and exhale, separate. So you are now right palm faces the floor, left palm faces the ceiling. Press. So you're opening nice and long through that left side of center. Then inhale back through, flip, exhale, stretching the right side of center. Really try to bring that arm back over your head. Inhale back through, flip, exhale. Again, left side of center, Really lifting by pushing down into your feet, up into that arm. Inhale back to center, flip and exhale again, right side of center, last one. Inhale back, last one on the left side of center. Good, and then inhale back through the center and exhale to set. Good, so we're just about up in our 30 minutes. So last thing I'd like to do is just bring in a forward fold. So this is called gathering the sun to touch the earth. Okay, so we're going to inhale, make a big circle around, bring a big circle across. You could exhale through this and then inhale to lift. And we're doing a little bit of a back bend here. So watch your back and more of the bending through the thoracic spine. And then we're exhaling as you go forward. So we can stay here in this flat back. We can take the hands to the tops of the thighs or just below the knees and find that stretch in the back side of the body. So breathe in with your chin tucked in slightly, just so your neck is nice and long. The crown of your head is pulling forward and out. Breathe in. On your next exhale, breathe out as you fold. Soften your knees as you kind of ragdoll forward, maybe taking your knuckles to the floor. If you have your blocks and you can't quite go down onto the palms of your hands, use your blocks here. Or if you can get down to the palms, just palm the floor. Your knees can be soft. The idea is to get the hips to rise up. So let your head drop and your hips rise. And take a breath here. Long exhale out. Feeling the belly rise up towards your spine, hollowing. Then on the next inhale, you're going to soften your knees, take your weight to your heels, and just shimmy up a little bit so you can bounce through this very lightly. If there's some tension or tightness as you roll up, then continue. Next breath in to rise up and exhale to clear. And we set. So we're going to end with 3 pull downs and into a standing meditation for about 30 seconds. Okay, so inhale as we clear over to the right. Exhale down your left. Inhale to your right. Exhale to your left. Inhale. We're going to come to the right, then close the palms together. Center yourself into Samahasti. I didn't pronounce it correctly. Anyway, just with the prayer hands, taking a moment to settle your body into your center, feeling the feet pressing the earth underneath you, all 10 toes, balls of the feet, the outside of the feet, the heels, the arches pull up slightly. Feeling that soften the knees and triggering the inner thighs. Feel the tailbone release. Feeling the kidneys slightly push back. Chest hollows, your shoulders are relaxed. The head floats up. Corners of your mouth lift to the corners of your mouth into an inner smile. Releasing your hands. Taking your hands to your side. And we'll take one more breath in and clear out. All right, so that was our 30-minute Zen yoga session, the first of our sequence of our series today. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you Thursday. However, I do have a time change on that. I will let you know in the email. I have something that came up that I cannot change. So I will let you know the time. Right now, I'm thinking 4 o'clock that we'll meet live, and it will be recorded. Okay, so I will send you that information. Until then, have a great day. Bye.
Darby, then if it's at 4, could I change my time to come to you, or what time? Instead of coming at 1 and then coming back at
Hold on.
4?